The Teamwork Projects Quick Add menu allows you to quickly and easily add projects, tasks, milestones, and more no matter where you are in your Teamwork Projects site. And using the Quick Add menu couldn't be simpler. To access our Quick Add menu, we just need to go over here and select the plus icon. And here we can see that we can add projects, milestones, tasks, messages, events, we can start a timer, we can log time, we can invite users, and we can add a shortcut. So let's have a quick look at adding a project using the Quick Add menu. In the Add Project window here, we need to give our project a name. Below this, you can see that we can add a description for our project. If we go to the Company tab, we can state whether or not this is a project for our company or for an external company. So if we say this is for an external company, we can make this a project for an existing external company, or we can add a new external company. So for now, I'll just change this back to our company. Moving on to the People tab now, where we can select who should be added to the project. So our site administrators are already added. And below here, we can search through existing users, or we can scroll through all of our existing users, or of course, we can add new users here. Looking at the Features tab now, and here we can toggle on or off whatever project features we wish. Looking at the Dates tab, we can set a start date and a due date for our project. And in the Advanced tab, we can add this project to a category and we can add any tags. So if we want to add our project, we can just select Add Project, or in this case, we can just close our window. Looking back at our Quick Add menu now, and let's add a milestone this time. So we need to give our milestone a name, we can set a due date, we can decide who is responsible for the milestone, we can decide whether or not we want notifications and reminders, we can add a description, we can customize the privacy and the followers, and we can add our tags. Within the Quick Add menu, we can also easily add tasks. So in the window here, we can select our project, we can select our task list within that project, and we can also add multiple tasks here. So we just need to add one task per line. And if we hover over the hints and tips here, you can see that we can also assign dates, we can assign the tasks to people, and we can set the priority. We can choose to make this task private, and we can choose to notify users when a task is added. Looking at our Quick Add menu again, where we can easily add messages. So we can add our message title, we can add the body of our message, and we have all the same formatting options as we usually would. We can select who should be notified, we can add a category, set the privacy, we can attach files, and we can add tags. Down here we can change the project that we're adding the message to. So in the drop down menu here, we can just select through our projects, and then if we want to, we can post our message. In our Quick Add menu, we can also choose to add events. So we need to add our event name, we can set the date and time for our event, we can set this event to repeat if we want to. In the Details tab, we can select our type of event, where the event is, and we can add a description. In the Privacy tab, we can say that only people in my company can see this, only members of a particular project can see this, and we can make the event private for just ourselves. Looking at the People tab now, where we can decide who is attending the event. So we can set whether or not they're attending, whether or not they'll receive reminders, and whether or not they'll receive notifications. We can decide whether or not we want attendees to edit this event, and we can choose to only show attending members. And then in the Reminders tab, we can choose to add any reminders if we want to. Looking back at our Quick Add menu now, where we can quickly start a timer. So we just need to select the project that the timer is for. We can choose a task here, and we can add a description. We can also decide whether or not this time is billable, and then we can start our timer. As well as being able to start a timer, we can also use our Quick Add menu to log time. So again, we just need to select our project. We can add a description here. We can set the amount of time we want to log. We can choose a specific start time. We can choose a different date, and we can decide whether or not the time is billable. In the Quick Add menu, we can also quickly invite users to our Teamwork Projects account. So in this window here, we need to add a first name for our user and a last name and an email address. So we can add multiple users here if we want to. Below this, we can select the company that they're part of, and we can decide whether or not they're a standard user or a collaborator. Once we're happy with this, we just select the projects they have access to. So we can choose all projects, we can choose all projects for a particular company, or we can select particular projects here. Down in the permissions section here, we can choose default permissions, we can make them a project administrator or a site administrator. We can choose whether or not this user can add new users and whether or not they can create projects. If we want to deselect all of our projects, we can easily do that here. We can also add a new project here. If we want to go back and invite more users, we can easily do that by selecting the back option here, or we can move on and write our message. So here we can write our welcome message, and then we can send our invite. Within the quick add menu, we can also easily add shortcuts. So a shortcut will be created for the page that you are currently on. So in this case, it would be the tasks tab of our company newsletter A project. So let's just quickly add a shortcut. So in the add shortcut window here, we can give our shortcut a specific name. We can choose to pin this item so that it's always at the top of our list of shortcuts. And then we can just save our shortcut. And that's it. That's how easy it is to use the quick add menu in Teamwork Projects.